afternoon, everybody. But we've never publicly actually talked about this before. This is something we've been working on now for about a year. An awful lot of work's gone on in the background, and we're really excited to share this publicly with people here today. So what's it all about? We're going to build the world's first fully distributed blockchain mining network and community. So it's initially, the presentation is designed for people who may not know an awful lot about what the blockchain is and what mining is and an ICO and that type of thing. So some of this I'm going to skip through really quickly because obviously everybody in this room knows that there's a blockchain revolution happening, yeah, and most people, who knows what mining is? Who's familiar with mining? Has anybody actually tried mining? All right, okay, this is going to be fun then, right? So this is the content of the presentation. We're in the middle of a blockchain revolution. You already know that. $200 trillion worth of assets moving from one paradigm into the blockchain ecosystem. And crypto assets are going to solve a lot of the problems that money's related to. And accordingly, crypto assets are going to grow in value. We all know that, right? Why? You know this. 5 key benefits to decentralized databases. Blockchain, easy way to explain blockchain to somebody, it's the evolution of data. We've gone from taking data on clay tablets to writing it on pieces of paper to having them on databases and computers. The evolution of that is data storage on blockchains. Okay, here's some of the key areas that where blockchain is going to affect our life. And again, if you kind of look in just on generally at investing in any ICOs, these are the key areas to take into consideration. Who's using blockchain technology? And whenever I read an article about blockchain or Bitcoin in the BBC, the first thing that starts to appear are people making comments about tulips and scams and all types of uneducated comments, right? These companies are moving into, researching, have blockchain divisions. These guys know what's happening. There's some very clever people working in these organizations. You know that 6 in 10 large corporations are considering using blockchain. And Ernst Young Switzerland, it's important that everybody gets on board with blockchain. This is not a bunch of nerds with a good idea a few years ago like it was. It's evolved. What about governments? That's one of the things that people say to me all the time. Aren't governments trying to stop this? Aren't they trying to attack the cryptos and Bitcoin and all that type of thing? Well, these are just 3 of the comments. There's hundreds more coming out all the time now. Whether they're Chinese, European, or US-based comments, governments are looking to get on board. This is actually a European Commission press release from February this year. You can see the press release, there's the link, but a few of the key points that I clipped from this was blockchain technology is seen as a major breakthrough. Blockchain has the potential to be truly transformative, and I see blockchain as a game changer. The European Commission is pouring money to this. So blockchain is growing up. We've gone through kind of the infant stage, and we're at a stage now where it's growing up. Blockchain mining. Mining, for anybody who doesn't know, mining is the process, in simple terms, which validates and confirms transactions on a blockchain, generates new blocks and issues. That's how coins are brought into the ecosystem, right? A miner gives up some of his resources, hardware, and energy, and is rewarded with tokens and or fees. That's the simple way of doing it. What does mining actually do? Mining keeps the network honest, secure, and decentralized. If we're going into a world with blockchain, you can't have blockchain without miners. It's as simple as that. We need a method of validating and confirming transactions, and no blockchains, no miners, okay? So we cannot have a situation where we all agree that blockchain is going forward, but the mining maybe not. It isn't going to work. Why crypto mining as a business? Well, we've just said blockchains can't run without miners. It's a proven market. This is not an experiment. There's $30 billion of transactions daily validated by miners right now. The demand is causing a shortage in GPU. Anybody who's done any mining knows this. It's so darn hard to get hold of a GPU now, right? We've got the mass adoption of blockchain ahead. So we're hitting a bottleneck where there's more mining solutions needed. And of course, the biggest reason to get into blockchain mining as a business is mining is very profitable. Bitmain is one of the biggest in the world. Maybe people who know mining have heard of him. He's the secretive big Chinese miner. Analysts estimate that they earned between $3 and $4 billion last year. And they've done that in just a few years. Now, to give you an example, a comparison, NVIDIA, the huge chip manufacturer, they got about the same revenue. It took them 24 years to achieve it. Now, Bitcoin did that with the crypto valuation around about this. Who knows what they'll be earning in another few years? Because we're all making the assumption here that kind of, you know, the crypto assets are going to increase. Okay, so if we're going to set up mining, why don't we just build a big mining operation like some of the others, like Genesis or other people have do? It isn't easy. There's huge costs to setting up a big mining farm. You need a lot of specialized knowledge. Energy, of course, is a massive issue, yeah? And you need to have all the specialized knowledge and take into consideration all the calculations, mining difficulty adjustments and all that type of thing. And basically I'm going to call them competition, but they're not really competition. A lot of solutions are needed for mining, yep? So that means that it isn't easy to get into mining because these are huge barriers to entry. And this is where we come in. Gaimin, the solution to blockchain mining problems, or a solution, an option, another solution, yeah? We plan to solve all of the challenges of large-scale crypto mining by using the Uber business model. Everybody knows who Uber is, right? The Uber business model. Uber is the biggest taxi company in the world, and they don't own any taxis. Their market valuation right now is 51 billion. Other examples, Airbnb, the biggest hotel business in the world. They don't own one single room. TaskRabbit, a more recent example, just bought out by IKEA for a reputed 130 million. Biggest labor on demand website in the world. They don't have any workers. If you look at the advantages of this. Biggest taxi company in the world. They don't have to put any petrol in. They don't have to mend any cars. They don't have to service them. They don't have to buy any new tires. They don't have to do anything, and they're the biggest taxi company in the world. Low fixed costs. Yeah, they're just a platform that links, which is what I was going to say on this slide. Yeah, the concept works well because these companies are platforms. They link supply with demand. Uber supply is cars and drivers. Unused resources, cars and drivers. The demand are people who want a ride and a superior user experience than a taxi. They're the platform that links supply and demand. Easy to scale, low fixed costs, and it's a win-win-win. Yeah, if you're going to take a taxi, if you need to take a taxi when there was no other option, you had to take a taxi, okay? The taxi could be dirty, smelly, you couldn't give him 1 star, no stars, whatever. Now with Uber, you get a better experience because we rate them. You can look on the app, yeah? The driver wins, we win, the company wins. So what's our vision? We plan to become the Uber of crypto miners, to build the largest, most secure, decentralized cryptocurrency mining network and community in the world without owning one single mining rig. Now, does this concept work in the crypto world? Well, here's an example called storage. It's a decentralized Dropbox. Everybody knows what Dropbox is, right? Cloud storage. Storage is just the same, only they allow users to rent out unused space on their hard drives, and we get to hire that space and have an alternative to Dropbox, a decentralized, more secure alternative. Storage, they only started a few years ago. Their current market capitalization is 123 billion. Outrageous, yeah, in a few years. The same concept, Uber. Why are we using gamers as miners? Well, besides the obvious, that you wouldn't pick a demographic of 70-year-olds who don't have computers, right? They would not make ideal miners. The ideal mining demographic for us are gamers. I'll explain why in a minute, but first, let me explain, just very simple terms, how mining works. Mining is measured in hash power. Now, it doesn't matter how you generate that hash power. You can generate the hash power, 100 megahertz, this is just an example, okay, from one station, or you can generate it like we will, through lots of people contributing a little bit. See, we're not saying to a miner, come and do with us and then dedicate all your gaming just to do mining. No, we're saying, listen, get on board with us, with our software, a little bit of your resources, tell a few people about it, a little bit of their resources, tell a few people about it, a little bit of their resources, and we're going to achieve this, okay? Both, in this example, both sides of this example are contributing 100 megahertz of mining power. Okay, gamers, ideal demographic. Yeah, they're digital savvy. They're not frightened about downloading and installing an application. They understand. They know what they're doing. They're ideal for mining because of their GPU, specifically GPU, but they've also got CPU resources. There's 1.2 billion gaming PCs, which is astonishing when you consider there's only 7 billion people in the world. I mean, I've got 2 kids, yeah? I'm the original gamer. Asteroid, Space Invaders, Yeah, I'm 52 now. I was the original gamer. I was on them, and I've got 2 children now, 2 boys, 17 and 13. We've got in our house, we've got PlayStation, Wii, Xbox, 2 gaming computers. The gaming industry, anybody who's got children, anybody who's gaming themselves, they know the gaming industry is massive and it's growing. Now, why is this important to have such a mass market? If you want any success, any demand with your coin, you need mass adoption. Big numbers means mass adoption. Mass adoption means the correct use of a blockchain. Lots of little transactions. That's what a blockchain's for. Highly motivated through gamification. What's gamification? Gamification is the process of introducing gaming mechanics to an app, a community, or a device. I'll give you an example. I use a meditation app. Yep. It's just a timer, basically. But they've introduced gamification into it. And with that introduction, they made it the biggest meditation app in the world. 10 consecutive days, I get a star. I never have a day off if I've done 9 days. And I'm 52 years old, what the hell, you know? Who cares how many people see my stars? But that's gamification. So we plan to introduce gamification because it motivates gamers, right? They're the first movers in technology, and most gamers would love to have some additional income to pay for their passion. A new gaming computer every year, upgrading their GPUs, a new screen. You know, my kids want faster mouses. I mean, faster mouses. You know, every little advantage. Okay, also, a big part of this is we have something called our network expansion program. I'll expand on that a little later, but gaming is a social experience. Nobody games on their own anymore. Every time anybody's gaming, their in-game chat or Skype, there's always a bunch of people gaming online. So it's normal in the gaming industry, referrals, okay? So we will have a natural spread of our software simply because of the social experience that is modern day gaming. Target market, gaming, estimated growth, there's some stats, yeah? We all know this is going up. You don't need stats to look at it. It's all around us. Let's take a look at our software. The first time a friend of mine, Calvin, who was the original kind of instigator of our business, talked to me about mining, we looked at it because you can't be long in blockchain industry without kind of coming across mining. And we looked at it. And I'm a very analytical person. My life is run by Excel sheets. And I looked at people who are mining and I just thought, this is ridiculously inefficient. Here's what you do as a miner. You dedicate some of your resources, you pick a coin, you then have to go and look at a bunch of websites, decide what's the value of the coin, what's the mining difficulty, what adjustments do I need to make. There's a whole bunch of calculations that if you're sharp, you can put on a spreadsheet and decide I should be mining that coin, not that coin, all right? But most miners don't do that. They go out, they mine, they do $1 a day mining or whatever the average figure is. It's considered to be about $1 a day. But they don't say, okay, this coin's gone down, maybe I need to flick to this coin. They're not considering which mining pool. There's a lot of technicalities involved to mining efficiently. When we looked at mining, we started to manually optimize our mining, okay? Big spreadsheet, there's 600 mineable coins right now. What's the value of those coins? If I go and mine a bunch of them, let me go to the exchanges and see what prices I can get, not just the price on coin market cap. I need to know the liquidity of that market. Do I need to mine 10 of those coins or 100 of those coins? Okay? When you start thinking analytically, you realize that current mining software is just primitive. It's ridiculous. Yeah? So we started to work on something that I'm going to explain here, our AI-powered software. Before I get into that, look at that top point, right? 2 big things people say as soon as we talk about mining. But what about the heat? And what about my GPU? Is it going to blow my GPU up? Most people, if they've mined at home, they've kind of built this Frankenstein little machine with adding additional GPUs on, right? Anybody done this? Yeah? Right, and the damn thing gets hotter and hotter. You need to open the windows, get the fans on it, and this little nuclear reactor deal, you know? More power, the neighbor's lights are going down. Right, open the fridge door, okay? This is not what we're about, okay? We're talking about a beautifully designed, AI-powered mining application that makes instant, optimized decisions about which coins to mine, yeah, effectively, with lots of gamers doing a little bit, all right? So just before, them are the 2 big questions, so let me get over those right now. there's no consideration of which coins to hold. This is such a key thing for people who are mining. They go, okay, this coin, Pat coin, right? Pat coin's a good coin to mine now. I can get a lot of them. I can make $5, $6 a day. But the thing is, what's Pat coin going to be worth in a few years? Is it worth holding that coin? So there's so many things to consider. Okay, we started to manually build what can be better done by machine learning. Machine learning is a branch of artificial intelligence. So what we were doing manually by optimizing our mining is the same as what Deep Blue did. Who remembers IBM Deep Blue, chess playing machine? Deep Blue, when it came out, was a machine learning application that studied data from past chess games and then studied the situation of the board, and depending on the move you made, it re-optimized and recalibrated to get to its end goal, which was checkmate. Okay? Deep Blue's so damn good these days that you can't beat it. So the more data you feed a machine learning device, the better it gets. That's what we're building. A machine learning, AI-driven mining application. We're going to gamify it, and just so that anybody who's interested in software development or knows anything about it, we've got the FRD and SDD. If you don't know what these are, don't worry about it. It just means the developers knows what they're doing. They've approved it. We can do it. And we're not far off a beta version. An MVP, a minimum viable product. So a gamer who wants to mine has got two options. They can do it themselves. They need to decide which software to download, which mining pool to join. They need to set up accounts and profiles for each mining pool. Then you've got to decide which coins, multiple wallets, keep your wallets safe, back up your seed words, make sure you've got them offline in case your computer screws up and then you lose everything. You've got to constantly manage and look at all the websites, what to mine and coinwars.com, right? You're limited to your own personal hash power. If not, you're building this Frankenstein machine. Yep. There's a learning curve involved. And if you turn it off, there's no mining, no income, okay? Or with us, a one-click download, install, next generation software, fully pre-configured. Mining pool coins, all managed. Cold storage, for people who don't know how to look after the coins. Institutional level cold storage of their coins. They're safe. Once the person knows, they can withdraw them anytime, stick them on the Trezor, on the ledger, whatever, okay? In the meantime, they've got them stored safely. No need to manage, set and forget. Yep. There's no limit to their own hash power because we've got a network expansion program. You earn a little bit of hash power from every person you introduce. Instant income. You turn this thing on, yeah, you download, install, all pre-configured, you're mining. If the gamer wants to take a little look at the application, this is where the gamification comes in. He's going to see a little visual of a miner, okay? And he's going to see mining down until there's little tokens appearing lower down. So he'll know how far has he gone, how much further to get a token. When he introduces people, he's going to see other little miners appearing. They go, look at that, now my little network of miners. And he's going to see them mining down, digging. Yeah, it's the gamification of mining. This is what I was just explaining. You can effectively, with our network expansion program, effectively build your own cloud mining network, okay? Gamers are natural referrers, and if you earn 10% of the hash power, with just 100 people, my kids, when they're online, they've got Lord knows how many friends on their in-game chat, right? But if they tell a few people, tell a few people, tell a few people, yeah, with just 100 people, you're 10 times your personal earnings. All you have to do is share a simple referral link. What about the type of income that a miner can earn? We're really not pushing this. We're really just trying to say to a gamer, get on board. You can probably pay for yourself a nice new gaming computer every year. So we're not trying to push this as they're going to get rich mining, yeah? But we're always asked for figures, so here you go. Based on the average non-optimized personal mining of about $1 a day, which we can easily beat, if they've got a little network of about 100 people, that $1 a day turns into $10 a day. Now, I don't know many gamers. You know, my two kids would not turn down the opportunity of doing nothing and earning €9, whatever that is a day, yeah, whilst they're playing the games without it affecting their gaming at all. So this is us, to sum up everything we're doing. We're building a globally distributed, self-propagating, that means it grows on its own, yeah, network of miners which mine cryptos 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with next generation machine learning, auto-optimizing mining software. No big setup fees, hardware fees, silly energy costs, or any of the typical barriers to entry and hurdles involved with mining. Let's take a look at mining investment. The validation of our market came in the last few months when we saw the enormous amount of money I mean, enormous amount of money is flooded into blockchain ecosystem anyway, but specifically at mining. Envian is an ICO that finished earlier this year, February, I think. Yeah, they raised 100 million. They have shipping containers equipped inside with mining rigs, and they ship them around the world to wherever there's an excess of energy, unused energy, cheap energy, and they mine. 100 million for some shipping containers with some mining rigs in them. It's an outrageous amount of money for what they're offering. And they've shown figures, because mine is profitable, that it'll work. I got on Envian's pre-ICO launch list. And this is my inbox, yeah? Look at this. 10 million in the first hour, 20 million in the first day. It's outrageous. Every day I'm looking at this, and they raised 34 million a couple of days later until they eventually topped 100 million. What about cloud mining? Now, I bought, when I was looking at mining initially, I went to Genesis. You can never get a contract at Genesis. They're the market leader, but they're always sold out. I eventually got one to mine Monero. And here's the silly thing about cloud mining, right? I paid to buy some hash power, and I've got a contract with them, and they dedicate that hash power to Monero. There's no kind of consideration given to whether Monero goes up or down, or whether it's profitable to mine. I'm locked into that contract. What happens if the Monero team falls apart? What happens if there's a superior? What happens if they fork and there's disruption and people just stop using it, yeah? My hash power is tied into that. It doesn't make any sense, okay? Even with those drawbacks, at Genesis and Hashflare, you can hardly get a contract, and they're struggling to keep up with demand. Let's get out of the blockchain ecosystem, and let's look at Wall Street, real world money. Kodak announced, this was pulled from the BBC, Kodak announced that in 2018 they're going to introduce Kodak Coin and Bitcoin mining plans. They plan to install rows of Bitcoin mining rigs in their headquarters. Yet within 24 hours of announcing that, their stock went up 120%. Ridiculous. Hive are on the Canadian stock market. They partnered up with Genesis. You can see the second email from the top. This is my inbox again. This is a cleaned up inbox, by the way. I don't, you know. Hive blockchain closes the final tranche of 115 million in financing. Yeah, this is the real world. This is not people who've made a bunch of money in cryptos and said, "Now let me buy another ICO." This is real world savvy investors. Our GMN token. This is not the token design, by the way. We're a little more creative than that, right? So the GMN token is the exclusive payment method for access to our platform. Our business model is subscription based. We plan to charge every single miner a small monthly amount in US dollars paid in GMN tokens. Now then, I hear people say, well, people won't pay. No, you're right, they won't. It will be taken from the mining earnings. They'll never even notice, okay? So we'll give them, when they download it, it'll come with a batch of free tokens to get them started. Once they're mining, they'll take most of the profit. We're going to keep a small percentage. So we have the ultimate recurring business model. You look at Netflix. Netflix is worth billions. The reason they're worth billions is subscription revenue, okay? Before Netflix, we used to go to Blockbusters, hire a video, and come back and watch it. Now everybody pays 10, 11, 12 euros a month, yeah, for Netflix. Subscription revenue is a key functionality of business valuations these days. We've got a subscription-based revenue, and the users don't have to pay, effectively. It's brilliant. It's also the currency that's going to be used by our gaming community, right? We're building a big community here. Gamers like community. Gaming is a social experience. So between members, we'll permit in our marketplace the sale and purchase of skins, tools, weapons, gestures, and energy. Anybody who's gaming knows what I'm talking about there. What about marketing? It's not enough to have just a good idea. You can have a good idea, but if you don't know how to market it, if you don't have a mass market, if you're not got an effective message, or you can't reach the market cost effectively, it doesn't matter how good your idea is. Here's the wonderful thing about the gaming industry, yeah? And remember, gamers is mass adoption of the coin. Mass adoption, more demand, token value goes up, okay? It's easy to identify and cost effective to reach our target market. These guys are offline at conventions and esports, which is just, you know, a monster growing industry. They've got their specific social media channels like Twitch, which is a gamer version of YouTube that people are on, and the key influencers in those, the key influencers, they've got millions of followers. You know, it's very easy to access the Gaimin market. We have a simple argument for them. Download, install the software, start to earn instantly. Yep, share it, you learn a little bit more, and it'll probably pay for your hobby. Easy to recommend, social experience. Referrals are normal in the blockchain industry. And I've pulled out a few leaders' examples there. Genesis Mining have a referral, okay? A lot of the big ones, Coinbase, Coinergy, not just miners, but a lot of the biggest ICOs from the last year, Bancaire, Monaco, okay? They all use referrals very successfully to augment their mass adoption. The gaming industry has had some of the biggest referrals, known as social referrals, even back to the days of Farmville, and running through League of Legends, World of Warcraft. They're all built on referrals. Let's take a look at the team. I'm not going to go through any individual members of the team here, but let me just say, we're not a bunch of 17-year-old kids with a good idea. We're guys who've been in business a long time. We've got, for example, let me just say, Rob. You know, Rob is here. Rob's run a generational family business here in Holland, yes, successfully. Andrew runs the biggest digital marketing agency in Canada with over 200 employees. Okay, this means we understand business, not just a good idea. It means we understand cash flow, finance, legals, all of the things that make a good idea actually work. We can market. We know what we're doing. We've been in business. There's a few hundred years of business experience between us. Ophir, we flew over to Israel to get Ophir on the team. One of the world's top blockchain advisors. Early investor opportunity, that's what we're interested in now. Well, if you're going to look at a business, you want a business that's got some key advantages. You don't want just another Me Too business that doesn't differentiate itself from the competition. Okay, so look, let's just revise this business opportunity. We've got the growth of the blockchain assured, okay? We wouldn't be in this room if we didn't think that. We've got the growth of the gaming industry assured. That's our supply and it's our demand, both going up. We've got, because of that, mass market potential. It's no use in the crypto world a coin that's only useful for 50 people. You don't want a coin that records on a blockchain the medical history of Siamese cats in Utrecht, okay? It's not needed. There's no mass adoption. It's going nowhere, okay? You need something with mass market potential. Crypto mining, when we spoke to our developers about this, they said crypto mining is perfect for artificial intelligence. It's the ideal use of machine learning. Just like the chess game is, so is ours. So we know that works. We know what the platform model works because it's low fixed costs, high profitability, rapid scalability. Netflix, Dollar Shave Club. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Dollar Shave Club. They send out razors every month by mail, subscription-based model. A simple business worth $1 billion now in a few years. Easy to reach our market, cost-effective to reach them. We've got a great argument for them to download and install the software. Won't affect their gaming at all. Yeah, we've got a built-in network expansion program, and gamification ensures that the mining community is active. That's the summary, okay? We've got two opportunities for people who are looking to invest in us right now. We're not an official token generation event. Ours is a utility token. We don't use the term ICO. We use TG, a token generation event. We're not at the stage of going public yet. What you're looking at right now is a pre-TG event, private invitation, okay? You're going to get a 30% bonus for anything you invest right now, a 30% bonus. Now, this is if you're just looking to invest an Ether, a couple of Ethers, Bitcoin, whatever it may be, right? If anybody's looking at investing in anything more significant, we have seed investor packages, which is a minimum of $100,000, where not only are you going to get some additional rewards, apart from what we've just seen there, you get to become part of the company. Now, imagine Netflix offering you that opportunity, a tiny part of that company. We believe we've got the opportunity to become, in the blockchain world, the equivalent, okay? If anybody's interested in that, you need to come and speak to us at the end, because that's a personalized, you know, it's very much a personalized thing. There's also a 5% investor referral fee. If you know somebody who's looking to invest that type of money in a crypto business, you get 5% of any money that person chooses to invest with us, okay? So, to sum up, these are the only three factors that make any sense when you're looking to invest in cryptos or anything else. Any investment decision needs to be based on just these three things. How much supply is there? Is it fixed? Okay, why is Bitcoin worth what it is? Fixed supply. They're not printing anymore. We all know this, okay? Fiat money, they print as much as they want. They're not printing Bitcoin, yeah? Demand. If the supply is fixed and you believe that there's sufficient reason for the demand to increase, then the token value has to increase. Economic basics. So when you're looking at this or any of the other opportunities you've seen here today, those are 3 factors. If there's a fixed supply, does the project have enough going for it? Enough of the considerations to increase demand? If it does, the token value is going up. It's as simple as that. To finalize, if you're interested in any of this, we've got our website up, but we've got a lot of questions that people have asked in the private investor discussions that we've had. They're all on the website. You can ask us anything personally. We brought our team together with us today. We brought Andrew, the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer, Clive, the Operations Officer, Rob, the Finance Officer, Calvin, the Chief Technical Officer, myself. And what I'd like to do is finish off by handing over to Andrew, the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer.
I want to thank you guys for coming. Myself, when you marry 2 beautiful things like gaming and crypto, it's a win-win situation for everyone. So we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for coming out, and we hope to talk to you and be part of our company as well. So thank you very much.